Breaking news coming out today that Iran-backed militia, they're vowing more attacks against the United States. After today, we're hearing that the U.S. Embassy in Iraq has come under fire, and this is coming from Iran. And Iran is saying there's going to be more coming on the way. This also comes as this is 5 days after we had seen the U.S. Threaten Iran with appropriate responses after Iran-backed assaults took place on commercial ships. These were carried out by the Houthi rebels, and the United States said that they had every reason to believe that it was confirmed that it was them. Iran is saying that they're going to continue. Now, we've already seen Iran threaten the United States. We have seen them say that we will not be spared from their fire, issuing threats on our own soil. In addition to that, them coming out and saying if the war in Gaza does not stop, that the United States will be hit hard alongside of Israel. And then now today, the U.S. Embassy over there in the Middle East being attacked by Iran, and they're saying that more is going to be coming. Now, this also comes as there is raising concern about what's going to be happening here in the United States. As we're hearing, the FBI director warned this week, warning senators that he sees blinking lights everywhere. His potential threats against the United States are on the rise. It's at a height level to which we have never seen before. And this comes as breaking news coming out today on this. Very interesting. Actually, yesterday, more than 12,000 migrants crossed the U.S. border on Tuesday. This is the highest daily total ever recorded. So as we have these heightened threats, you would think that there would be some effort to try to stop the borders from having them come in. We're actually hearing that we set a record this week, 12,000 migrants in a single day on Tuesday, as staggering photos show the migrants lining up to run through the border into Texas. Absolutely incredible. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys the latest on these coming out. I see we've got 1,164 people in the room, 209 likes. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay, just so that way I know that the information is getting across okay before I get too far into the video. Let me know in the comments. Please let me know if you can hear me and see me. Corey is saying, we love you, brother. Sandra is saying, hello, Steve. Okay, people are saying yes, they can hear me and see me okay. Keijan Queen saying thousands of Chinese men. Yes, and actually, I'm not sure if you've seen the video footage of them lining up at the walls to get in. Lines and lines and lines, they're saying, of individual men, single men. There's not families, there's not children, it is just men coming in, and they're very concerned about these individuals crossing into our borders. And we're hearing that a new record was set on Tuesday with 12,000 new individuals coming across from all over the world into the United States, and this coming with heightened threats. And as I mentioned, just several hours ago today, we heard Iran-backed militia vows more attacks coming after they have now attacked the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. So this is pretty intense. And I know that this is not the news that anybody wants to hear, that we're now getting threats of more potential attacks. We've heard that U.S. troops in the Middle East have been attacked over 70 times now. And we're hearing that the responses by the current administration, a lot of defense specialists, experts are saying, are weak. We are not showing our strength. And that is why they're saying there is boldness amongst these groups to continue to attack, because we are not sending the correct message. However, we're also hearing them say that we should not attack too hard, because if we do, it could cause World War III. And we've actually heard several individuals today saying, please do not get too aggressive with what's going on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think that we need to provide an aggressive attack? If so, put a 1. If you think that no, the way that we're going, the pace at which we're going is just fine, go ahead and put a 2. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, 1 or 2. I'm already seeing 1 starting to come up. I see somebody saying they saw the news reports on this already. Yes. There's a lot going on with this today. This is big news, and this is a major concern, because just to clarify, this is a U.S. embassy. This is supposed to be sovereign ground by the United States, our representation there, and they are attacking it. So this could definitely escalate things very quickly. Now, we will see, however, because at the current time, I'm seeing a lot of 1s, people saying we need to send a message. We need to get more aggressive with our responses, but at this time, this bold move to attack a U.S. embassy, we will see if there's any response at all from the way that things have been going. But I will let you guys know. I will keep you up to date. I'm seeing a lot of 1s rolling in, a couple of 2s. And again, we've got 1,352 people in the room, 470 likes. Can we get half of the room to hit the like button? Can I get an extra 200 people to hit the like button? Can we get that over 700? If you appreciate the live updates, it helps me out a ton. It just continues to spread the information out on YouTube so more people are aware of what's taking place. More people can see that the U.S. Embassy in Iraq was hit by Iranian rebels, and they're also saying that more attacks are coming on the way, and this comes as people are also concerned about what is going on in the United States right now with them crossing over, potential attacks. We're hearing warned from the FBI, and in addition to that, we set a new record, 12,000 migrants, illegal migrants crossing into the U.S. on Tuesday, a new all-time record of crossovers in a single day. Absolutely incredible. So let me go ahead and get you caught up on this, though. I'm going to go ahead and reference these articles. And as you guys know, these are all linked in the description below. So that way you can go ahead and check them out for yourself if you are interested in what is going on right now in our world. As Iran-backed militia vows more attacks after the U.S. embassy in Iraq comes under fire. The commander of an Iran-backed Iraqi militia is vowing more attacks on the United States interests after the U.S. embassy in Baghdad came under mortar fire. Now, on Friday morning, local time, a multi-mortar attack was launched against the U.S. embassy compound in Iraq. A U.S. official told CNN there were no injuries or infrastructural damage reported. Hours later, U.S. and coalition forces came under attack 3 more times. So the attacks are continual and consistent, once in Syria and twice in Iraq, in a mix of rocket and drone attacks. The commander of the Iraqi Kataib Saeed al-Shahab, Abdul Allah al-Waliya, did not claim responsibility for the attacks, but said Friday, today, that they reject talk about stopping or easing operations as long as Zionist crimes continue in Gaza and the American occupation continues in Iraq. So again, just to clarify, we've heard this vocalized several times, but just to reiterate it, a reminder in people's minds, Iran is holding the United States accountable for what's happening in Gaza. As we know, on October 7th, there was the Hamas that went into Israel, attacked them. Israel is now retaliating. They're defending themselves, trying to get their hostages back that were taken by Hamas, and they are attacking Gaza. Iran is saying that it is the fault of the United States because we are allies with Israel and we support them in defending themselves. And they're saying that the U.S. will not be spared from their fire. We will be held accountable and we will be hit hard, are the words of Iran. And Iran is now saying also that they reject any talks of stopping or easing any operations as long as Zionist crimes continue in Gaza and the American occupation continues in Iraq. So do not think for a second that the United States is not involved in this. They are holding us directly responsible for what's taking place. Last month, the United States Department, the U.S. Department of State designated Kataib Saeed al-Shahab and its Secretary General as specially designated global terrorists. Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani said his government will pursue the perpetrators of the attacks and bring them to justice. In a statement released by his office on Friday, he stressed that targeting diplomatic missions is something that cannot be justified and cannot be accepted under any circumstances and regardless of the allegations or allusions behind these shameful acts. The U.S. called on Iraqi security forces to immediately investigate and arrest perpetrators of the attack. The many Iran-aligned militias that operate freely in Iraq threaten the security and stability of Iraq, our personnel, and our partners in the region, the State Department spokesperson Matt Miller said on Friday. Prime Minister Sudani rightly called these attacks acts of terrorism, Miller said. So again, this is on a U.S. embassy as well. Sega, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I will do my best to keep you guys up to date on everything. The Iraqi government has repeatedly committed to protect diplomatic missions as well as U.S. military personnel who are present in the country at Iraq's invitation. This is a non-negotiable, as is our right to self-defense, he said. As of Friday morning, U.S. and coalition forces have come under attack at least 82 times now in Iraq and in Syria since October 17th. The attacks on Friday include multi-rocket attacks on Al-Assad Air Base in Iraq and mission support site Euphrates in Syria, as well as a one-way drone attack on Al-Assad. Attacks on U.S. interests in the region have significantly increased since Hamas' attack on Israel on October 17th, as the U.S. bolsters its military presence as a sign of deterrence aimed at stopping the Israeli-Hamas conflict splitting out into the region. Despite the regular attacks, the Pentagon has maintained that the message of deterrence is working. So we will see. They're saying that it's working, but we saw all the ones people saying we need a more aggressive response. Michael LA99, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. Clayton, hello, Clayton, $20. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys, I will continue to keep you up to date on everything. I appreciate the support, and I will keep giving the information. I hope that it is helpful. What we are focused on is preventing the crisis in Israel as it relates to the conflict between Israel and Hamas from expanding into a broader region. The Pentagon spokesperson, Brig General Pat Ryder, said this week, so far, it's our assessment that has been contained. Yes, and we will see so many people saying that the U.S. is providing restraint in their responses, but a lot of people saying they're also projecting weakness by not responding stronger to this. Some saying we are literally being bullied by these terrorist groups in the Middle East, not responding, not attacking back, not sending the message like we should be. Let me know your thoughts. Michael, LA99, welcome to the Ram Fam. Thank you for the support. As a result, all of the articles that I'm referencing, they will now pop up in your YouTube feed. You will see them, be able to click them and go right to them. But as you guys know, as always, I cite all my sources for you anyways. They're linked in the description below, including this one that I'm referencing. Now, in addition to that, as we mentioned, this comes as just 5 days ago. We had seen ships in the Red Sea attacked, and they're saying that it was Iranian terrorist groups, the Houthi rebels, and they're saying that they're just continuing to assault us, and we need to respond to this. Jenna Jenkins, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Somebody saying, is it too late already? Yeah, a lot of people are saying that we have gotten past the point that this is just continuing to escalate because the responses by the United States are not strong enough. So in addition to that, as I mentioned, we had received word from the FBI. The FBI director warned on Tuesday that he sees blinking red lights everywhere and that there are potential threats of attacks against the United States. And then we saw yesterday, Thursday, what took place in New York. I reported that to you right after it came out, and it just rang true within 48 hours of the FBI director and his warnings. Linda, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. I will continue to keep you up to date on everything and make sure that you guys are aware of what's taking place so we can be prepared with what is going on. And some pretty incredible news today with the U.S. Embassy being hit in Iraq by rebels in Iran. And so as we heard, the FBI director has warned us that this is taking place right now. We need to be aware. And as I shared with you, the map and the list, literally cities across the United States with what they're calling sleeper cells that potentially could orchestrate a coordinated attack all at once, not just physical, but a lot of people are saying they're concerned with infrastructure attacks against our water systems, against our electrical grids, against our airports, an assortment of different ones. Janet Jenkins, thank you so much for the $10. You are amazing. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'll continue to keep you guys up to date on everything. Now, in addition to that, with all of that happening, with them pouring into the United States, we now set a record. More than 12,000 migrants crossed the border on Tuesday, the highest daily total ever recorded. As staggering photos show lines of migrants entering into Texas. A surge in migrants at the southern border meant on Tuesday that the single highest number of encounters with authorities took place. The last year of the Biden presidency has seen the highest even number of migrant encounters at 2.4 million. So millions and millions crossing into our borders right now. And let me know your thoughts. I mean, I feel like the vast majority of people all agree. It doesn't matter of your political background, but right now with the threats being as high as they are, that we need to stop this. We need to close the borders. We need to take care of our people here in the United States. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this, but I really believe that the vast majority of people would agree it's time to close them up. And also, we heard from former President Donald Trump, close them up and ship illegal immigrants out and those that potentially cause threats as well. Janet Jenkins, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Looks like Ferry Meadows got it. And as a result, Ferry Meadows, for that generous membership from Janet, you will now see all these articles pop up in your YouTube feed. You'll be able to click the links, go right to them. These are all the ones that I reference in these videos. It says migrant encounters, they are up. Open southern borders, they have hit the highest ever single day on Tuesday with an astonishing 12,000 people flooding across the border into the United States. It was reported that Customs and the Border Protection agencies have said that more than 10,000 of the encounters were Border Patrol agents coming into contact with illegal crossers at various ports of entry. On Wednesday morning, CBP had more than 22,000 migrants in custody as several of the agency sectors overflowed with people outpacing their capacities. So not only have they been coming in, but they're coming in faster and more so than we have ever seen before. The last year of the Biden presidency has seen the highest ever number of migrant encounters at 2.4 million. September had the highest ever monthly rate of illegal cross encounters at 260,000. In Arizona, in the CBP's Tucson sector, a surge in migrant encounters has included hundreds of adult male crossers from the Middle East, from Asia, and from Africa. The sector saw 17,500 encounters in a single week, its highest weekly total ever recorded. And there are tons of photos on here on lines and lines of people. Let me know if you've seen it in the comments down below. I've seen a lot of information coming out that. Put a 3 if you have seen these coming out. Put a 4 if you have not. But I know a lot of people saying that they've seen the video footage and it's absolutely incredible of all the people coming out. Put a 3 if you've already seen it. Put a 4 if you have not seen the lines, the thousands and thousands that have been coming in just single days. I'm seeing a couple 4s. People saying they have not seen the footage. Okay, wow. I will go ahead and make sure that I get you guys some footage so you can see it for yourself. Sega, thank you so much for that $5. I appreciate the support, that super chat. I will continue to keep you guys up to date on everything. Okay, wow. I'm surprised. A lot of 4s. A lot of people saying that they have not seen the video footage. All right, I'll do my best to get you guys out a video and share with you the footage so you can see the thousands, tens of thousands that are crossing over. And they're saying that this is at an all-time high right now. What is taking place? Now, in Lukeville, Arizona, adult migrants are currently awaiting processing. Fox reports that many of the migrants hope to go to cities like New York, where they believe opportunities will be available to them. And New York right now is one of the states where we had heard that there are so many potential threats of attacks that they said the entire state, the FBI had a watch list. They were naming cities, but for New York, there were literally so many, they could not name them all. NYC Mayor Eric Adams, as well as Governor Kathy Hochul, have repeatedly said that New York is overwhelmed by the number of migrants who have been sent to them, largely by bus from the borders. J&E Adventures, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that a ton. Cities like New York and Chicago, it says, where hundreds of thousands of migrants have been bussed in from border states, an effort led by Texas Governor Greg Abbott, are increasing their pressure on the Biden administration to fork over emergency aid, saying that we need to control the borders. And if you are not going to do anything to close the borders, well, we're going to take the migrants and we're going to send them over to your states over there. Several Democratic mayors are now asking for $5 billion in aid, a significantly higher number than the $1.5 billion the White House requested from Congress. Capitol Hill lawmakers are currently fighting out the details of what should be included in any funding package. Republicans are advocating for restrictions to be placed on the asylum and the parole systems that have allowed so many migrants to cross the border with seemingly no consequences. Democrats have said there are certain GOP conditions they will only agree to if they are accompanied by guaranteed amnesty for some number of the illegal migrants already in the country. On Wednesday, the DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas told CNN that the Biden administration was open to some of the GOP's proposals. He said, "We presented proposals that address the situation, that provide real practical solutions, and also do not do violence to our fundamental values. We are a country of refugees." He continued, "We do have asylum laws. We do have refugee laws. We abide by our international obligations that are longstanding. And so that is my response to that. Some of the proposals are reasonable and worthy of discussion. Others are frankly not." Black Cad, welcome to the Ram Fam. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it a ton. Biden told reporters that he may be willing to agree to significant compromises on the issue of border security, calling the border broken. And yes, I would say we can agree. And if you could see these photos, like I said, I'll try to do a video where I'll share with you guys the photos and you can see it. It's absolutely incredible. And they're saying we are breaking records now at all-time highs. And this coming as we're also receiving warnings from Iran that more attacks are on the way to the United States. Raf, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it a ton. Let's see here. In addition to a plethora of other consequences of mass migration in some Texas border towns, high-speed car chases between authorities and illegal migrant smugglers have been upsetting the status quo and in some instances yielding fatal results. When state troopers attempt to pull over vehicles suspected of carrying illegal immigrants inside of them, smugglers in the driver's seat will often refuse to stop, resulting in a chase. Earlier this year, troopers tried to stop a speeding gray Mazda with fake license plates, according to the previous DailyMail.com reporting. The car ended up crashing into a concrete barrier several miles after the pursuit began. 4 people, all illegal immigrants, according to the local news, lost their lives. And wow, there's tons of video footage on this. I'll be sure to share. Janet Jenkins, thank you again for the super chat. You are awesome. I appreciate it a ton. So you guys, this is what's unfolding right now. We're going to be seeing what the response is from the White House as the U.S. Embassy was attacked. We've received warnings from the FBI director saying that blinking lights are everywhere for potential attacks against the U.S. We've heard warnings from Iran that we will not be spared from their fire as long as the Gaza war continues. And we've heard from Israel that they will continue until they eradicate Hamas. Now, yesterday, I also shared with you that several groups of Hamas were captured in the Gaza Strip yesterday by the IDF. Shared with you the video footage and the pictures as soon as it had come out. So we will see many people saying this could be the beginning of the end. Many people saying this is just part of the process. We are nowhere close to it. But Iran is saying as long as this continues, they will hold the United States accountable. Steph Fran, thank you so much for the super chat. Diversity is our downfall, they say. I think that there's nothing wrong with having people coming in as long as they are good people and they go through the process. But all these illegal crossings, we cannot monitor who's coming in. It's out of control and they just slip across. And we don't know if these are people trying to escape a bad situation or if these are people that are coming to bring a bad situation to our nation. And so we need to have control of what's going on. Linda, thank you so much for the $4 super chat. Totally appreciate it. You are awesome. Black Cat, $10. Thank you so much for the super chat. Take your faith to Jesus. Quit your worry. Amen. If you're a praying individual, I believe that you should pray at this time. Pray for our nation. Pray for our world. Pray for everything that is going on. Because I also am a believer and I believe that prayer does work. And again, you guys, for those of you hopping on late, I see that we've got 1,784 people in the room, 1,215 likes. Do me a favor, if you've not done so already, smash the like button. Can we get that up over 1,400? Can I get 170 people that have not yet hit the like button to do so? It just helps spread this out further so people get the latest information. As the breaking news coming out today that the U.S. Embassy in Iraq was hit, and we're hearing that it was from Iran-backed rebels. So just absolutely incredible. People saying this is a hit against a sovereign area. So very concerning and disturbing. And like I said, we're going to be seeing how it is the United States responds to this. Dan Lux says it's not in the news. No, it is. I'm actually referencing several articles right now. This is in the news coming out today. So this has already been spread through social media platforms, through the news outlets, news media, and we'll see. We're still waiting, though, to see a U.S. response. And like I said, we've heard that they're trying to be very careful about their responses to make sure that it does not provoke any escalation of war. But at the same time, a lot of people saying that the responses to these attacks are weak and sending a message that we are not serious, that we are willing to be bullied. So just very concerning. So Crystal saying, what did I miss? Crystal sharing with you guys just the latest that our U.S. Embassy in Iraq was hit by Iran. And this comes also after we had seen those ships in the Red Sea hit 5 days ago, and the U.S. saying that there will be an appropriate response, but a lot of people saying the responses, they have just not been there. In addition to that, FBI director warned senators that he's seeing blinking lights everywhere for potential attacks in the U.S. And as we just hit a record on Tuesday, more than 12,000 migrant crossings from the border into Texas, the highest that we have ever seen so far. Black Cat, thank you again for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it a ton. Thank you for the support. I will continue to keep you guys up to date on everything. So we will see. Wait, they attacked the U.S. Embassy, says Chuck. Yes. And a lot of people concerned about that because that is what they're saying, sovereign ground that is not supposed to be taking place. So that is crossing a line and escalating things like we have not seen so far. Hello, Steve. It's great to see you, Cinderella. Great to see you as well, Cinderella. Thank you so much for joining. I hope the information is informative, keeps you up to date on everything. Steph Fran says again, why have we given billions of dollars to Iran? Anyone? Great question, Steph. Great question. Another 4 million on the way, says Nikki. Chuck says, oh man, it's getting real. Yeah, it is. Things are it just seems like lately there's been a lot taking place. Things are intensifying. And so we're going to be seeing where this goes. As I mentioned, a lot of people concerned about the escalations increasing quickly and potentially breaking out into a bigger conflict. Is this world war tonight, says Chris? We could see, we will see, but hitting a U.S. embassy, that is pretty big. But they said that luckily there was nobody that had loss of life. There was minor damages, nothing major, but just the fact that they're doing this, that they are doing this nearby the embassy is very, very concerning, and could escalate things quite a bit. But we'll see how the response has been. I did a poll in the room just very quickly, ones and twos, ones for people that thought that the responses have been weak and that we need to increase and send a message. Two for those that said, no, let's just keep it the way it is. And the vast majority of the room said ones, that we need to send a message. We cannot allow ourselves to be bullied by these groups, but people were saying they felt like we needed to be more aggressive. Cinderella says, you really keep me informed. I love it. You are welcome. Oscar Reyes says, how do we know? Oscar, it is in the news. It's all over the news. And in addition to that, Oscar, we're seeing the reports and the photos coming out from it today. Michael Combs says, blinking lights, alarms. Yes, that coming out this week from the FBI director for concerns about what could take place here in the United States as well. But you guys, whatever unfolds, I will be sure to keep you guys up to date on everything. Let's see here. Are there any other questions that I can help out with? Let's see here. Get rid of that person. Somebody's saying attack Iran. You know, we'll see what the responses come out to be. Puppies brought to $10 super chat. Thank you so much. We should send the illegals to Delaware and let them live with Biden. You know, not a bad idea. If the administration wants to just let them in, we'll go ahead and send them over to his house. You know, I think that's the thinking of Governor Greg Abbott, saying, listen, if you're not going to support us, you're not going to block this stuff, then we're just going to go ahead and send them over to your house. They can go stay with you. Especially with this increased threat that we're experiencing and the warnings that we're receiving from the FBI. It's just very alarming and concerning. Cries Cess 1, thank you for the super chat. Wait for the draft and the martial law as an excuse to hold up elections, she says. Yeah, you know what? We will see. And, I did a video on the draft. It was absolutely incredible because I heard a lot of people searching about it, questioning, is there going to be a draft if we go to war? And originally my thought was, no, there's not going to be a draft. But then when I actually researched it to make a video on it, I was shocked to find out that they said that the last time that we actually needed a draft, which I can't remember the exact date in my mind, the last time that we had it, maybe it was like 70 years ago or so, that the reserve amount that we had for our armed forces was 10 times what it is right now. We're at 1/10 of what it is. And they're saying that we don't need a draft at this moment because we are not at war. But if we were, there is simply not enough people in our armed forces. And there's concern that there actually would need to be that if it took place. And they're saying it would fall on Congress. So they said, just to clarify, it would not come through executive order by the president, which was a rumor going around. It would be Congress needing to address the fact that we don't have enough armed forces in our reserves, and that they said that that would then potentially be something that they would issue. And they're saying that they believe there would be massive pushback that we're in, saying they're not doing it. But we'll see. Tavish, thank you for the super chat. Best independent newsman, thank you for your broadcast. You are so welcome. I will keep you up to date on everything as it comes out. And like I said, I'll also cite the sources and have them linked for you so that way you can see them as well. Sally saying, read the Bible. Yes, Sally. A lot of people saying this is aligning exactly with what the Bible says. Two Grown For You says, you're the best. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. Thank God there's channels like yours because we don't hear anything from the news, says Matthew Norton. Matthew, I agree. And, I feel like it's a shame that the news media outlets have their agenda and they only push what they want. And I think that we just need to keep the American people informed of what's going on. I believe that knowledge is power, and us knowing what's taking place is half of the battle. We need to know what's going on so that way we can prepare ourselves, our families, make the best decisions that we feel are necessary for us. Can you imagine all of the people living in New York not knowing the threats that are, happening right now, all of what's taking place? People need to know what's going on. Tat2, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. That means a lot. I will keep you up to date on everything as it comes out. Oh, wow. The comments are pouring in. Massive draft. Sorry, Gen Z, you can't run to Canada, says Jisung Rocks. And the draft age is 18 to 25, if I remember correctly, where they would start pulling names. Awesome job, Steve. From South Africa, says Andy. Hey, Andy, thank you so much for the kind words. I will keep you guys up to date on everything. And do me a favor, if you haven't already and you appreciate the updates, can you hit the like button? I see we've got 1,580 likes with almost 2,000 people in the room. If you have not done so, if you could do so, it just helps spread it out even further. Can we get the like button close to 2,000? If so, that would be awesome. I would appreciate it. Denise saying, thank you for the live update. Hit that like button. Thank you for the support, Denise. I appreciate that. People, stock water, stock food. Protect yourselves now, says Sweet Sassy with a alarm emoji. Yes, I agree. I don't think it would hurt to make sure that you are prepared. Like we always say here, don't be scared, be prepared. We need to be aware of what's going on. Cynthia says, thank you. You are so welcome. Orlando, Florida, says Sal81 checking in. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for your support. I'll keep you up to date on everything. Vape Legend says, Steve is awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Amy says a recap. So yes, for those of you coming on late, just a quick recap for you. Today, Iran-backed militia vows more attacks against the United States after they hit the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. In addition to that, this comes 5 days after the U.S. had threatened to hit Iran back with a response for the rebels that attacked U.S. fleets in the Red Sea. And this also comes as there's growing concern from the FBI of attacks here on U.S. soil. While this week we set a new record of more than 12,000 migrants crossing the border into the United States, which is the highest daily total ever. So with everything going on, you would think that the United States would try to secure the borders more to try to slow down potential migrants coming across that could be a part of these groups that want to wreak havoc on our society. But no, we're actually hearing it speeding up and they're pouring in even faster. So absolutely incredible stuff coming out, you guys. But like I said, as more information comes out, I'll keep you guys up to date so you know exactly what's taking place. But you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all the super chats and the support. You guys are awesome. I will keep you up to date on everything. Cite the sources, put them on the screen when I can. Read right from it so you know it's the exact latest information coming out and keep you up to speed. Don't forget, hit the like button if you haven't done so. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's free. And thank you again for all the support to channel members and the super chats. You guys rock. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.